Hey guys, it's Richard with Bahama Shutters. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to do a maintenance on your Hurricane Bahama Shutters. The shutters have adjustable louvers. This is a 4-inch louver, also available in 2-inch. A couple of things we're going to be needing to do this is a garden hose with a spray nozzle. We're going to be using Dawn heavy duty degreaser, and then also white lithium grease for the rings on the side and the slide pins. And then also we're going to be using just a soft bristle brush to clean everything. First step we're going to do is take the garden hose, just kind of rinse everything down. Make sure any big chunky sand or anything that's on it will rinse off pretty easy. If you are on the coast and near the ocean in a salt environment, I recommend doing this every 6 months. If you're not near the coast, then every year. Right before hurricane season is something I would recommend doing. So we're just going to rinse this off really quick, make sure that there's any large debris comes off. Now that that's done, we're going to take our Dawn degreaser and just kind of spray it over. A couple of things you're going to want to do when you're spraying this is to make sure to get it on the inside here where the louvers articulate. This is especially important to do if your louvers have kind of seized up and they don't want to move too easily. So for example, if I open this up a little bit, set this down real quick. If your louvers are seized up and they don't want to move, spraying some of that Dawn inside these little articulating angles when you go to open them will help unseize it. But this shutter is pretty good. It functions really nice. If they do seize up or if it's really difficult to move, then using 2 hands, get behind the louvers and just kind of work it back and forth, and it'll eventually free up. So keep on going a little bit more with this Dawn. And then take our brush, close the louvers all the way, it makes it a little bit easier. And so you get the idea. Just make sure it's all nice and clean. And if you want, I'm not going to do it, but you can go behind it and get on the back side as well. So just for time's sake, I'm going to just give this a quick rinse down with this Dawn. It really take you a little while to probably rinse it off. But take your hose, rinse off all the degreaser. I'll finish that off here in a little bit. So the next part in the maintenance we're going to do is the thumb screws that are on the side that allow the shutter to open and close. This is really, really important to make sure that you change this grease out, because if you don't, then it's going to seize up and it's going to keep your shutters from being able to open. And then if you really let it go too long, then this thumb screw will seize up in this ring, and then it'll seize up really bad and snap off. Now if you do get these that are seized and you can't really move it too well, taking that Dawn and spraying it into this onto the thumb screw, and then taking a pair of channel locks and gripping the outside of the ring and just kind of working it back and forth to I'll show you on the other side here. Grabbing it with some channel locks, just kind of going back and forth slowly, trying not to force it or put too much pressure on it, but just kind of work it back and forth until you can finally get it out. So now that we got the thumb screws out, we're going to go ahead and take a rag and just clean up any of the grease, the old grease that's on it. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And you can also do it on the ring as well. Use a Q-tip if you want to get inside there, but you know, just the thumb screw is probably the more important one. Now we're going to take our white lithium grease and right on the threads, Just add a little bit to it. And then I'm going to just take my finger and kind of work it in to the thread, make sure it's all the way around. And then go over to the ring and reinstall the thumb screw. Now when you're doing this, there is an outer hole that this thumb screw needs to line up with. So when you're putting this in, just make sure that they do line up and the thumb screw is not pushing against the outer pole, because that's going to keep it from being able to open and close. So there we go. And then we're going to take our rag and just kind of clean up a little bit on the outside. Perfect. Now that that's done, we're going to go and do the other side. Now if you have a front slide pin or an inside slide pin, we're going to want to take these out and make sure to change out the grease that's on those as well. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is loosen the thumb screw on the front and slide your pin out and go ahead and take the thumb screw all the way out. Got the thumb screw out, we're going to go and do the same thing like we did on the ring. Take a rag and wipe that down. It's looking pretty good. And now we're going to take our slide pin out the side of the shutter. And get the grease on that. Grease is still decent, starting to harden up, but we're going to go and change it out anyway. So we're going to take our rag and just clean off all the old grease. And apply some new stuff. So just make sure to get it on the back part of the shaft and then inside the threaded hole where the thumb screw is going to go in. And you can take your finger if you want again, just kind of smear it in there to get it all nice and uniform. And then when we go to put the slide pin back in the side, we're going to want to make sure that we can see this hole through the front. So we're going to go put it in the side there. When you go to put it in, it's nice to kind of give it a little turn back and forth to work the grease into the slide channel there. So we're going to just spin it a couple of times. And then make sure that the thumb hole lines up. You can see it right there. Take our thumb screw and put it back through the hole there. Now if it seems a little bit misaligned, then you can take your finger over here again. Make sure don't push this all the way in until you get this thumb screw in, but just kind of move it back and forth until you can get the front knob lined back up. There we go. And right before we cinch it down, we're going to loosen it back up again. And just slide it back and forth a couple of times. Then lock it back down. And after doing this other side, we can open the shutter back up and we'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and finish rinsing this down, but you guys get the idea on how to service and maintain your Hurricane Bahama shutters. If you have any information, or if you have any other questions on this, you can give us a call at 386-227-6295, or check us out on our website, smartguardshutters.com. Thank you.